My name is Ryan Dorsey, and just going to go over the story of Natalie. Natalie was born on 8/28/19. We had found out 2 weeks prior to her birth that she had 2 strokes in utero, and those strokes were severe grade 4 hemorrhages. At that point, the doctors didn't know what was going to happen. They had told us that there was a very high probability she wasn't going to make it. And they also told me and my wife that she really very well could be laying in a bed, in more of a vegetative state, the rest of her life. We went home that evening, and just was just sobbing the whole night and just really, afraid and, didn't know, what to expect. So we got through the next, 2 weeks, with support from family and friends and things like that, and definitely did a lot of praying. We personally believe that God healed Natalie from the womb, and he brought her out of that death sentence that she had initially. She was crying and was vocal and moving. Right after she was born, the doctors had determined that Natalie had developed hydrocephalus, which is excessive fluid on the brain. That was a byproduct of the strokes. And then later that spring, she was further diagnosed with CVI, cerebral palsy, and astropia. We're also pending a few other surgeries. Once the shunt had failed the second time, from there on out, Natalie's care and her amount of appointments had greatly increased. We just, came to the conclusion that my wife really needed to stay home to care for Natalie. She's her main caregiver. Because of the loss of income from Crystal leaving her job to, stay home with Natalie, we really started to struggle with paying our mortgage and paying a lot of regular, bills. A lot of daily living needs, were greatly impacted with our family just relying on my income. In the course of a month, we were spending over $1,000 in fuel just to take Natalie to appointments. Really have, got to some hard positions. And at that point, we started really reaching out for help. We ended up reaching out to 211 and some local, charity organizations to kind of help. And when we contacted 211, that's when we discovered Shepherd staff.
Ron contacted me, Shepherd staff, to ask for assistance since he wasn't able to receive it at another organization because he was overqualified by his income, that they wouldn't be able to assist him. During this conversation, he was saying that he needed help with his mortgage. And then when he told me how much the mortgage was, I was about ready to fall off my seat. And I said, well, before I can do anything to assist you, you must come in to see me and fill out an application. And when we met, he was just so relaxed, but a little stressed at the same time, with the biggest smile that would win anybody over. So we chatted for a while, and I said to him, what kind of service do you need that I can help you with? And I was telling him about the blessings closet, that we had diapers and toilet paper and different things that we could do immediately. And he was sharing with me the cost of going back and forth for different treatments here in Carroll County. So I said, well, I can help you with a gas voucher. How much do you need? Why don't you send me a copy of your bills, and I'll see what we here at Shepherd staff would be able to assist you with. And he did exactly that, so we were able to help him out financially, as well as other support that we have here to give him.
Miss Velma, she, gave Crystal a hug, and, she was telling Crystal, how cute Natalie was. We'd shared some family photos.
I met his wife last week. She was absolutely as sweet and polite as her husband. Actually, we end up hugging each other because I'm that type of person. So she said, oh, I don't mind.
It was great. She's the sweetest lady. They made a major impact in our lives. They really have. I want to bless other families too. Once we get out of this crisis, I want to, bless others. You know what I mean? It's just been so huge, and I love to impact others, the way that we've been impacted. So we've seen God work from the beginning, within, those first 2 weeks. Like I said, God showed up and, brought this miraculous child to us that, was destined not to survive. And, I mean, you want to talk about a miracle story. It's a miracle story. And it's definitely, all about, the Lord.